welcome to Cigar Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe.
I'm Brad Jackson.
And we're using a new camera, so if it looks better on the YouTube, so that's why I upgraded the camera system.
It keeps distracting me because the screen changes, and I'm like, what's happening?
Oh, yeah, we actually got a forward-facing camera now. I'm not using an old pawn shop GoPro. So what are we smoking this week, Brad?
This week we are we're the Outcast, so we are smoking Outcast.
Yeah, Outcast cigars.
Yeah,
I don't think it has a name. This is like you go to their website, they only have the one cigar listed.
Yeah, I mean that's. I guess we would say it's the Corona. I think this is the Gorda, maybe.
I think it's
Or it might be the Toro. I don't know.
But this has got Brazilian Cubra wrapper over Ecuadorian Sumatra binder and Dominican fillers.
And I do kind of like this. Like, it reminds me of Black Cat's Fireworks logo a little bit, but I do like their tagline, be unique, be yourself, be an outcast.
And that kind of goes with this week's topic, because we're going to be talking about the Outcasts of Nevermore, Season 2 of Wednesday.
Yeah, we're talking about Wednesday on a Sunday. Whoa.
I may have to release this episode late so it comes out on a Wednesday. And the pre-light, it kind of smells a little s'more-ish.
I was going to say, like, I just did a dry take, and I was like, right off the rip, holy crap, this is a sweet cigar. But now that I've lit it and started to get into, the first third a little bit, it actually has a bit of complexity. Definitely mild, maybe a hint of medium on the strength side. Wow, can you believe that? I haven't smoked a cigar with you in like 6 minutes, and I'm like,
So I'm letting you give all the details.
But, it's a flavor bomb of a cigar. Definitely has the sweet to...
It's sweet without tasting flavored.
Yes.
If that makes sense to anyone, because
flavored
cigars are
were,
too
like
sweet.
Vanilla, cocoa, something of those lines. But now that I'm starting to get into it, and I think too, that might be one of the things with some of the other Brazilian wrapped cigars, is sometimes they don't have enough complexity for me, and the Brazilian just leaves a bit more to be desired. So Outcast, I think you're doing a wonderful thing here.
Yeah, that Brazilian Ecuadorian kind of combo goes well together. And if you've got to fight off a hide, you should call in the Strike Force, StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use your promo code CigarNerds for 20% off your order. And don't forget to mute your phone before you podcast. But
I mean, that was almost perfect timing, though.
Yeah. So with that, we'll be right back with the main show. And welcome back to Wednesday.
On a Sunday.
So yeah.
Using my announcer voice.
Season 2 of Wednesday just finally kind of wrapped up. Before we get into you didn't watch it till both parts were out, but this is like, I'm starting to get pissed off at Netflix doing the whole, instead of doing week to week, or instead of dropping everything like they used to, or doing week to week like Prime, HBO. No, now we get half seasons. Like we'll give you like the first 4 episodes this month and the next 4 episodes in a couple weeks. And the way I binge shit like that, I'm like, I burn through those 4 episodes and then I wait a month to get the second half, and then I'm like, the fuck happened on the first half? It's like week to week I can kind of like, all right, yeah, I remember what happened last week, but this like chunk, wait a month, another chunk is like, dude, my fucking brain, I can't remember.
It's almost like they want to ensure that you stay subscribed, longer so you can finish those series.
And have to go back and rewatch the first one again because I can't remember shit from a month ago.
That's part of the reason too why, I wait. Now there are, circumstances where I'll be like, I've got extra time, or I'm really invested in this show, so I want to try to keep up with it real time because, luckily for me, outside of the, news segment type stuff, like I pretty much stay away from social media and everything, so it's not like I'm just randomly going to run across the thing and be like, oh man, that headline just spoiled it for me.
Yeah, and I used to work from home, and so I sat in front of my computer all day, and that's pretty much all I did was see social media stuff. So I usually try to watch things right when it comes out, but now I'm like away from my computer more than I used to be, and I'm like, oh, I can actually wait to see a thing. That's kind of like I've been, not to already get us off topic, but that's kind of what we do here. I've heard Alien Earth is good, but I've been waiting for that to like wrap up so I can, because I'm already watching two other shows like week to week. So this one I'm just like, all right, I'm letting it go until it's done, and then I'm going to binge that shit one weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to start, the new Terminal List, and then, also Peacemaker, like, and some of those I have to watch with the better half, because she'd be like, what do you mean you already watched this? And I'll be like, well, you decided to watch British drama. What is that, Downton Abbey or something?
Downton Abbey or whatever it is.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't even know I would like this, and now I'm obsessed. I'm like,
tea
all right,
crumpets.
You're gonna watch that. I'm gonna go elsewhere.
I did have an English person call me chap the other day. I felt like I was talking to Peggy Carter.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's like, oh, thanks for your helps, chaps. And I'm like, oh, chip chip cheerio to you too.
Pip pip.
So yeah, Wednesday.
Started off dark.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to use my summer vacation to hunt a serial killer that turns people into dolls. Or it's like, fuck, we're just getting right into it, aren't
we? Did you have nightmares? Because when I saw the dolls, all I could think about was your house, and like,
yeah,
I remember when we had the creepy porcelain doll back when we lived together, and that was nightmare fuel for you.
Oh, just wait till you see what the the Kings of Camo is doing for Amanda's gun. I have not seen it yet, but there is a creepy doll somewhere on the on the. I took him a creepy doll as inspiration. He's like, no, this is going on the gun. So we'll see what that looks like when it arrives.
Oh man, they put out such amazing work that it's not going to be anything less than stellar. Especially you and I, we kind of share the same thing when it comes to people that are any kind of artist, where it's like, you do art stuff, I do not, so whatever your professional, inspiration tells you to do, have fun.
Yeah, like when I go up there, I try to, unless I have something very specific, I give them the vaguest of like parameters, like, hey, make me this themed gun, and just leave all the art to the artist. I'm like, just tell me what it's going to cost. And then like, other than that, like, you're free to do whatever. And yeah, they've yet to like do anything that wasn't like, fucking awesome when I got it back.
It's only going to cost $5 million.
I mean, I did see somebody that got diamonds for sights on their gun, so I don't know if those were real diamonds or not, but yeah, that looked interesting. But yeah, did you do it upside down?
I might have.
For those of y'all on the audio show, it's been so long since Brad smoked a cigar. He just tried to light his hand on fire holding the the lighter upside down.
I mean, dude, didn't even leave a mark. It's a good thing I got, fucking leather for skin.
Quick reflexes.
I was like, hey, that's warm.
And now with our new camera, you can see it in 4K. Watch the blisters form in real time.
I don't think there's going to be a blister. I don't know. Might be too soon to tell. It's probably like one of those, like, yeah, the skin just disappears. Yeah. And
I did the exact same thing with that, like in a hurry one day with that lighter, just fucking upside down. Like, oh, yep.
Well, it's, like everything's red and you see the black and you're like, okay, that's probably where the flame comes from. Nope, it's definitely the other end.
Yeah.
Great. My hands are only what,
That one, and you press it up to light it, and all other cigar lighters are pressed down. So when you hold it upside down, you do the normal press down thing, and no, you're just turning it on and roasting your palm.
Who makes this?
It was a Drew Estates lighter that came in in a pack that I bought.
Sweet. I'm
Yeah, it was-
gonna reach out. We're gonna get be like you're.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, if people can,
There's
you
some
know,
design
sue
flaws
for
there.
hot coffee, I can be like, you know, your lighter is
Dangerous.
dangerous.
No, we need to put
Set
like a
the world
safety
on
label.
fire.
Safety label on that, like this way up.
I
Front toward enemy.
yeah, and there isn't anything like that. I was gonna be like, it's probably there. We just didn't read.
So yeah, we see what she's been doing in the during the summer break of the school is like hunting down a freaking clown or fucking doll collecting serial killer. And we get to catch up with everybody else. We see our Hyde from last season is still in jail, and the former or whatever, Xavier, and then the former sheriff. He's like basically like a private investigator now, and like his deputy is the new sheriff. There was like some interesting stuff they say, and we got
There was a lot more character development and stuff like that this season, I felt like.
and a lot more inclusion of the rest of the family.
Yes.
Like in season 1, we got a couple episodes here or there with the other Addams clan, but in this time, like her mother basically got roped into hosting like the fundraiser committee or whatnot. So they were kind of staying in a cabin just off campus. So like her mother's in a lot of the episodes, her father's in a bunch of the episodes, and even her younger brother Pugsley is now like a student there, so he's got his own kind of shit going on throughout
Almost
the
like they're
season.
setting up a whole lot of stuff where they could do, individual spin-offs.
Well, speaking of which, some of the latest news is we're getting a Fester series coming up, which the character of the way they've done Fester in this series is hilarious. I love that character. I definitely want to see more of his like wacky adventures of what he's like up to when he's not like helping helping Wednesday with her cases.
I couldn't help but think back to Fester's Quest on NES.
Especially when they're like trying to get information, so they have him go undercover at the insane asylum, and he's like, so he gets himself arrested and shit, and he's like freaking macking on the nurse and seducing her so he can get access to things. And
I mean, you do what you got to do. I mean,
Fester's he's got a motorcycle and stuff. Fester's a playboy.
I just realized that it's raining. I got distracted.
Squirrel.
Yeah, I'm so easily. I don't know. For me too,
It's okay. It hasn't rained here in like a month or so. So
Yeah.
it's like, what's that sound?
well, Rachel was like, "Hey, I haven't washed my car in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna watch it." So that's what she was doing when I was leaving. I'm like, and I'm driving here, and I could see the rain off in the distance, and I'm like, "Yep, this is about to happen." But I don't know. I like to some of the trying to get through TSA and bringing thing through TSA
Yeah.
and like just not prepared at all.
Setting off the metal detector, and
Yes.
she's like, knives, brass knuckles, all those like nunchucks.
Like, I'm pretty sure you would get arrested.
Yeah, and then like going back to the X-ray, and there's freaking thing like in the X-ray. And that's the other thing too, is like I forget that he's not CGI.
Yeah, he's
The fact that there's like a literal actor on set doing those hand motions in a green suit, basically.
it's a green sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, just the amount of emotion and shit that this hand portrays, it's fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand sign language, but I can like almost know what the hell thing is saying. Like, I mean, for a hand model, I don't know what the dude can act his ass off without just a fucking hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude is impressive.
That's just like Groot.
Yeah.
like one word, but and inflection and motion and movement all.
And I like he basically got his own like little house this season. He gets his like own little apartment.
It's the hand house.
Yep. If he runs low on money, he's got to get a hand job.
But he gets enough money, he can get himself a handmade.
Or what about when he goes to the support group for other severed limbs? It's like there's some ears, there's a couple eyeballs on like, and then of course Christopher Lloyd and is the head in the jar robot thingy. But yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, because we've known Thing all these years. And it's like, oh, there's other living body parts. Weird.
How great was
You
it
are
to
more
see
than your whole.
Christopher Lloyd, though? And the fact that we were at Dragon Con with Christopher Lloyd, even though we didn't actually get to see Christopher Lloyd.
I went to his panel. I saw Christopher Lloyd.
I was like, none of the times that I walked through the Walk of Fame did I see him at the table.
I never saw him at the table, but I did make it to his panel, so I got to see him at least once. Him and the other guy.
Just the other guy. But I don't know. I like this season. We got to learn more about the werewolves and their new alpha, and
yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of side plots going on this season. It was like you said earlier, like more character development. It like looked like, I mean, Wednesday had her shit going on, but then kind of Enid had her side quest of like I might be an alpha, and then you've got this whole Bianca getting blackmailed basically by the new principal, who Steve Buscemi as and from like the first one, I'm like, that dude is way too like happy and positive. There is something definitely wrong with him.
Nobody is that happy as a principal.
Yeah. And of course, along the way, we find out, because we heard about the cult that Bianca's mother was a part of, and how they fled the cult leader, and then you find out that like in a flashback later on that no, the cult leader was basically just the face guy that they used to front the organization, but the real brains behind the operation was the new principal.
That's how it always goes, though. Usually
Barry Dort.
What a name. You're a Bort. What? A Bort?
No, I'm Barry Dort. Who has sweet fire powers. I feel like we got more
things are happening, and I don't know why they're happening.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, this may be an audio-only show. For some reason, it stopped recording. I don't know why. Anyway. I'll see when I try to edit this, whether that worked or not. Because I'm recording again. But, yeah, so we had the, what was I forgot what they called them, but they basically could, like, levitate people. And then we also had the, Alright, well, I guess we're not doing a video show this week. I keep saying device overheating.
Huh.
And shutting everything off. So I should have used the GoPro. Anyway, it may be something to do with the settings. I'll play with it later. Where was it? Yeah, so you had the invisibility people, because last year we had the Gorgons that could they turn people to stone. We had the whatever, the werewolves, the vampires, and and now this season we've got and the sirens. And this season we got the people that have like telekinesis powers, and we got the people who can turn invisible.
You got your shapeshifters.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on this season. Like this was very, very supernatural, like compared to just all the conglomerations coming together.
Yeah, and we had the how was it, the former sheriff getting eaten alive by crows, and a couple other people getting, and I don't know, maybe the fact that they broke the 2 seasons up, I'm like, I don't remember why that, like, the cause of that shit. Like, I remember, like, the later half of the season, we find out that, they're experimenting on the mental hospital's actually experimenting on people with powers, trying to, I guess, like, steal their powers and whatnot. So there's several people that have been, their deaths have been faked, and they're really being done, and then, but I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember where the fucking crows came from. Who are the crows working for?
The Crow. That's got to be, Wednesday and Eric Draven, crossover series. It's happening, dude.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when we come up with a bullshit idea like that, at some point things come to fruition.
Oh. But yeah, and then, like, the first half of the season, because, like last season ended with her getting, like, mysterious texts of someone, like, watching her, and she still keeps getting those kind of, like, messages, and we find out the whole time it's just an invisible girl who's wants to be friends and is like, I've got to stalk you to, like, prove my worth to you, but then, she kind of becomes useful to her and eventually becomes friends, and is not so much, I don't have to have Wednesday's personality, I can be myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, when we took that break, I'm like, and then came back, I'm like, wait a minute, what was the fucking stalker storyline? I completely forgot, like, who was sending her the messages. I'm like, oh yeah, it was the
little
little
girl.
Creepy ginger girl.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to relight this the correct way.
Oh, but yeah, she's like, Engsdemil. Yeah, so it's like, we get the whole, fucking, stalker storyline, and it's like, oh yeah, but yeah, the whole, like, her, like, setting up a whole, like, death trap for Wednesday and her friends to, like, just kind of prove that, like, hi, I want to be part of your
I'm
friends.
worthy of being noticed.
Yeah, like, I tricked the great Wednesday, and it's like, and, like, the whole hiding her book in the bonfire and whatnot. And then we also got another side quest where Pugsley Pugsley has a problem with, like, I don't have any friends at school. I'm gonna do, like, the typical, like, freshman prank, like, oh yeah, there's a guy, like, who had a clockwork heart that got buried under the skull tree, and if you go there on a midnight, you'll hear his heartbeat or whatnot. And, well, fucking Wednesday's got, like, lightning powers. Not Wednesday, Pugsley. So he goes there to, like, check out the story to prove he's not, like, a pussy, and then gets scared and, like, accidentally electroshocks the tree and actually creates a fucking zombie.
Huh. There's so much happening this episode. What is going on over there?
No idea. I guess I should have tested the camera before So next week we're back to using the GoPro. Until I can figure out why I'm having issues.
Maybe it's just designed for, short action segments. Who knows? You're the camera guy.
Yeah.
But I need you to be an expert camera guy, because your camera prowess is going to help me on my side endeavor prowess.
Oh. So we get whatever, what the hell do you call him, Zilch or whatever his...
Yeah.
Oh. I'm like, all right, so now we got freaking zombies. And every time he eats someone, he gets just a little more human. He's like, I gotta eat people to rebuild my brain.
I mean, that's a good philosophy. Maybe that's why zombies always crave brains. Is they're just like, every time I consume something, a little piece of my humanity comes back with the human I just consumed.
That's like, did you ever watch that show iZombie?
Yes.
Where the girl eating brains to solve crimes.
That was a great series too. It just didn't hang around too long.
Yep.
I don't even know how many seasons did iZombie end up, like 2 or 3?
Something like that.
And I'm gonna go back and look it up. It's gonna be like, no, there were 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, God.
Oh, Slurp. That was his his zombie's name.
I mean, that's fitting for a zombie, Although he should consume people with a straw, just like suck the brains right out.
And then we get fucking summer camp episode. Let's go with all the horror tropes.
Yes.
Let's take all the outcasts to a summer camp, or to compete in a game with the normies as cover for Wednesday investigating the dead detective's hunting cabin to find out why he was hunted down, and she discovers the plot that he was investigating a bunch of deaths of outcasts that supposedly died at this sanitarium.
Which is the reason why we're actually smoking this Outcast cigar. Wow, what a tie-in. It all comes full circle.
And we also get, since fucking Wednesday's like pushing her psychic powers to the point of like breaking, Mom takes the diary she had been learning all her secrets from, and it was like, she tries to challenge Morticia to a sword fight to reclaim her book, but Mama's just too good for her.
It's like, no, you got to keep learning, young Padawan.
Yeah, I think that's like so much of like this series is her wanting to be more grown than she is, and her parents like trying to like hold her back. Where and I think like through this series they finally kind of found like the balance of like, all right, yeah, I still have things to learn from my parents, but my parents also know I'm like more advanced than they treat me, and I'm capable of fighting serial killers in their basements.
We need serial killers in our basements that we could fight. No, we don't.
Sweet.
I don't know if our magic prowess is enough for this.
Also keep an eye on the time, but since the camera died, I'm no longer seeing my... I usually track time by the by the camera recording app.
I'll give you a hand signal that'll confuse you, like always happens, because we never, like...
Helicopter. Oh.
That would have been so cool to see on camera.
And then we had... we actually got introduced to more of the Addams family this go around. We got to meet Morticia's mother, who's kind of a grumpy old bitch, but I like her. She's like they're fucking like, Wednesday goes to visit Grandmama, and they're like, shooting skeet in the in the garden.
I mean, the first time I ever fired a gun, it was with my grandmama. So there's that. She's like, "Hey, I got a .38 special. We can go out back."
It's like, your mother's too emotional. She's yeah. You should come work for me in my mortuary business. And we can go skeet shooting with my version of Lurch. Like they all have their own like Lurch.
Yes.
So you have anything to add to this conversation?
Oh God. I don't know. I mean, we got the nightshades. We got, the epic quest to be like, hey, we're going on a library, to find our books.
And the amount of like kind of extra guest stars this season, we had what's her name from Doctor Who as the new music teacher, aka also a werewolf, who may or may not be the bad guy next season. Played Rose Tyler in Doctor Who.
Who played Rose?
Billy Piper. Yeah, so we got Billy Piper as the new music teacher, and we also had the lady who played Grandma was also a big old. If you remember that old show, Absolutely Fabulous, she was speaking of English shows. And then what's her name? Gwendolyn Christie returns as Ghost Principal Weems, and I loved her and Wednesday's like interactions. Like she's like, "I'm your new spirit guide," and it's just like how like much she like just kind of condescends to her and shit. And she's like, "Why don't you fucking guide me for once?" And like, and just those two like bickering back and forth, and the fact that like through most of it, you're like, is she just cracking up, or is this actually? Because no one else can see her until like she goes to like see her mother, and she's like, I feel the spirit, and like finally like her mother sees sees Principal Weems is like, oh, this is actually happening. She's not just going a little bit nutty from all the things that have been happening to her. She really does have a spirit guide.
Is that like an ayahuasca spirit guide? Is that
whiskey spirit guide? Yeah. And the fact when they go to like the formal dance, even the ghost dressed up, she's like, I know no one can see me, but I got to get fancy for this. A bit of an ego on that ghost.
I mean, dude, it's all about presentation, right? Even if you can't be seen, like, you still got to look the part. I mean, they always say, like, that does something, getting up and, putting on your best or whatever does something, mentally stimulating and get you prepared. So, I mean, it makes sense to me, ghost or not ghost.
Oh, and then we had, what's his name? Speaking of, like, old horror tropes, we had, like, the summer camp episode, and then we got the Freaky Friday episode where Enid and Wednesday, like, switched bodies for an episode.
Yes.
And probably one of the best episodes of the season, and it's like, those two girls, like Jenna Ortega and Emma Myers, fucking amazing actors, because Wednesday playing Enid and then Enid trying to play Wednesday, like, it was like amazing seeing the complete like personality change in the two.
It's like, don't do anything to embarrass me. Don't do anything to make me look dumb. Like,
and it's her like pulling off the whole like looking through the top of her eyes and not blinking and being the like goth chick, and then Jenna Ortega being like the happy, colorful freaking Enid version. And then like, because like the whole time she's like, I'm not wearing the purple uniforms, I'm allergic to color. And then Enid like tries to like, get some rainbow unicorn fucking frappuccino thing, and then like breaks out in hives. She's like, holy shit, she really is allergic to color.
It's not just a mentality thing, it's real. But I kind of like that, that whole thing too, where, as all of this is happening, and it's like, oh, well, as Alpha, you got to do, and it's like, oh shit, I'm not even in the right body for this, like.
Yeah, it's like both of them kind of been keeping secrets from each other, where Wednesday doesn't want to tell Enid what's going on because she's, like I said, had the vision of her death and is afraid that, she's not going to be able to handle it. And at the same time, Enid's going through some shit and is not like clued in Wednesday, and like kind of both of them trying to kind of figured out that each of them was like trying to protect the other one, and also each of them were both stronger and more vulnerable in ways that neither one of them wanted to, because that was like kind of the whole thing, like y'all have to basically get on the same page. You have to literally know the person whose shoes you are walking in to undo the curse. And we also had like the brief cameo of Ghost Lady Gaga as the like he must paid her like a shitload of money for like 5 minutes of like, so there's so much like news hype leading up this, like, oh, Lady Gaga's in season 2 of Wednesday. Like, we're like, oh, is she going to be the principal? No, she shows up for like 5 minutes as a fucking ghost vision, and then she also gets a song at the dance. But other than that, it's like, yeah, it's like we get like
gotta do just dance.
Yeah, just like a brief a brief Lady Gaga vision.
But I mean, that was also fitting, because Lady Gaga is like the pop Marilyn Manson, so that works.
Maybe next season we'll get actual Marilyn Manson.
Oh my god. Just and we recast Fester. He is now Marilyn Manson.
Oh. Fucking Fred Armisen is
yes.
Fester is just
dude, it just works. It's great.
And Luis Guzman is as a freaking Gomez. We got a lot more of him this season too, and like the more I see him as Gomez, the more I like him. And all this time too, it's like we also got some more of, because we, as this goes on, we find out the Addams family is very like linked in with the Hyde problem.
Wait, they're on LinkedIn?
Yes. And the as we go on, we find out that Slurp is actually, former Nethermore student who is actually uncle to our Hyde from last season, and his mother was one of the people that was faked death, that was living in the psycho ward. And his whole thing was his whole like obsession with Isaac Knight. His whole obsession was he was trying to build a machine to cure the Hyde to save his sister, and he tried to use Gomez as basically a battery for it. So all this time you think Gomez doesn't have powers. No, he used to have powers. He had lightning powers like Pugsley, but him trying to help his friend and getting tricked into like, oh, I'm not just needing a little bit of your power, I'm going to like drain your ass and kill you. And Morticia having to save his ass, but afterward he kind of like lost his powers, because the whole time I'm like, why is he like he's never shown, is his powers just he's really good at sword fighting and making money? Or is his powers just luck? Because it seems like fucking Gomez Addams like gets away with everything, but like, oh no, he literally was a lightning guy back in the day, and before he got zapped by his so-called friend.
So, if you've got a friend, make sure they're not undercover raiding.
And we also get the reveal that, because hell, even fucking Thing got some like backstory this season where it's like, oh, I have no memory, from before I was found by the Addams. I don't know where I belong or like where the rest of my body is, and finds out, oh, he's literally the right hand man of Knight, who somehow is like, when he was killed, his hand like became animated, and Thing gets.
He almost became he was essentially the Luke Skywalker of fucking
Yeah.
Adam's family.
And Thing gets reattached to him so he can get his like fucking telekinesis powers back. But Thing revolts. It reminded me of that movie Idle Hands.
Yes.
Where he's like his hand starts fighting back.
Yeah, you don't want a possessed hand. Man, I have not seen that movie in a long time either. That was always one of the, kind of classic tropes that as years have gone by. Idle hands make the devil's work.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gotten like a freaking reboot of that. A reboot and everything else.
I don't know, like that's one of those that just don't. But now you've spoken into existence, so it's gonna happen probably. They'll be like, oh, in this rendition of news, we're gonna get Idle Hands now remastered.
And then we get the guy from Wednesday playing the hand. This is next role.
Oh my god! Like, could they do like a parody spoof where Thing is the idle hand in a way? Like, I feel like there's enough talent to be able to pull that off. I mean, we got 7 Sharknado movies.
Yeah.
Like, we can get a comedic idle hand. And instead of idle, it'll be like the restless hand or something.
Or the idle hand is going around like killing everybody, and they're like, we need someone to fight him, and like freaking hand or a Thing shows up to like to fight the idle hand
for good. That could be like a celebrity death match. It just old, stop animation.
Can hands arm wrestle without like an arm, or is it more like thumb war?
It would be like a thumb war, but an epic thumb war. There's stakes.
It's like freaking doing like.
I mean, if you don't have a thumb to balance,
shit.
It's hard to be the Thing. Like, no, that feels uncomfortable without a thumb. Maybe that's just my carpal tunnel. That's like, I could never do Thing. I'd be like, my wrist hurts after 45 seconds.
And then we get the So what do you think about the because the whole thing, Enid's like, I'm gonna do a dance number. I'm gonna do a dance at the big fundraising ball, and we get like, at this point, like I said, Angus and Wednesday had that thing. She's like, where she like went like full stalker, where she like dyed her hair and was like trying to basically pretend to be Wednesday. And she's like, no, like this is not cool. Like, fuck off. And she finally like, comes to like, oh, I should be my own person, and embraces that. And then like she ends up filling in during Enid's dance performance because the guy that she was supposedly dating turned out to be a douchebag and still had a girlfriend back home.
I mean, I think we saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, werewolves are.
I mean, dude, look at the Twilight Saga. Okay.
Exactly. Oh, but yeah, when they that whole little dance number too. Again, Lady Gaga getting like 5 minutes of screen time and a song performance in the show. Speaking of which, have you watched the music video, like the real music video for that song?
I don't think so.
I happened to catch it it popped up on YouTube and I watched it. It's that creepy doll island like down in like Mexico where it's just like supposedly it's like haunted and this guy has like just collected dolls that supposedly there's a river where a bunch of kids drowned and he basically collected dolls to house the souls of all the lost children. So now there's just this island that's like full of fucking creepy ass dolls. she actually went on location and filmed the whole music video on Creepy Doll Island.
I'm gonna have to actually watch the real video. Like I said, dude, like she is the pop version of Manson. So like,
oh yeah, it was wild. I was like, oh, because I've seen like documentaries and ghost hunting shows on that island, and I'm like watching. I'm like, oh shit, this is really Creepy Doll Island. I can't remember what it's called, but you know, I'm like, I've literally seen this place before. This is like she's like, you know, actually on scene on location filming this weird ass video on Creepy Doll Island.
Yeah, it's literally Island of the Dolls.
So I wasn't far off by calling it Creepy Doll Island.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a
Spanish translation. Yes. Dios de los Dollas or
Contendio. I don't know. My Spanish is so terrible, dude. I tried to order tacos last night. I'm like, I just had to point at the pictures and be like, I want one of these and one of these. Like, I can't. Like, I'm going to try to pronounce this, and it's going to come out, you know, all kinds of wrong. And
can I get the El Gorditos and some fajitas?
Yeah.
Isn't that guy from Dragon Balls? I want the fajita plate. Y'all got a Goku on the side?
Like down in Puerto Rico, it was just like, yeah, I know jamon as ham, so yeah, give me all ham products.
It's the one word I know.
I know. I mean, polo and asada, but you know, these were like fancy bougie tacos, so there were a lot of other words that.
So that place we went after Range 15 that just had like the 50 different tacos.
Yeah, I mean, this place didn't have like, I don't know, it was weird. Like, I knew it was going to be bougie tacos, but that's what I was going for, was bougie street tacos, and but it was like Ariel, you know, Ariel taco or some shit like that, and
then we get like I had a question, but yeah, the subplot of Enid being back to the dance routine, like her like turning like invisible and like her just kind of fucking, you know, levitating and shit.
Yes.
And, like it was cool as hell, but it was also like this huge like, again, another genre, like heist movie. It was like a whole like freaking plan, like, all right, we're gonna do this to distract this, then we're gonna steal the medallion that the principal's got that keeps him from being able to be mind controlled, so then we can make him confess. And then, you know, he's like, all right, well, fuck y'all, I'm gonna burn everything down. So Ajax like stones his ass, and then fucking chandelier falls and crushes him. And it's like, but it was like a whole like, you know, Ocean's 13
yes.
Wednesday plot.
I mean that's one reason.
And then that wasn't even the end. Like, we had a climax. No, we still had like another episode or two after that.
that was like the fake, you know, climax. I was like, oh shit, real, you know, shit got real, but then it's not the real shit. Like
no, and then we've got fucking Slurp, you know, aka Knight, kidnapping Pugsley to use him as the battery in his new monster machine, and you know, blaming the Adams for killing him to begin with. And then you've got them burying Wednesday alive, but then you also got the other side plot of, if Wednesday wolfs out on a full moon, she may permanently go to werewolf form, but she has to like choose to go to werewolf form to like save Wednesday, because only her werewolf form was strong enough to dig her ass out of the grave. And I like when they dig her up and she's like, that was a good nap. This is very comfortable being buried alive. Speaking of which, how did you like the differences in the when we had the Freaky Friday episode of Wednesday's version of a werewolf and Enid's version of a werewolf?
Dude, such a stark contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great though. Like I love how they had the different portrayals, but I mean, you know, it's that whole thing of walk 1,000 miles in somebody else's shoe, you know, and it's like, this is how I perceive, and it's like, no, that's not it at all.
Yeah, it's like Wednesday or Enid's werewolf is like still got the pink hair and colorful claws, but when Wednesday turns, even though they're in the same body, Wednesday's werewolf is all like black and saber tooth and like, fucking, nasty. It's like, hells yeah.
Metal.
Metal. Turn into the fucking derpy tiger from K-pop Demon Hunter.
That would be me as a werewolf, probably. It'd be like, you are not menacing at all. It's like, death by 1,000 licks.
Like a golden retriever version of a werewolf. He's like, ooh, you got a ball? I'll chase that ball.
I'm not a lot, but I'm loyal, okay?
So, do you think, since kind of the reveal at the end, Hyde versus Hyde, and Hyde can't exist without a master. He ends up killing his mother because, he wants to be his own man, doesn't want to, because she's trying to take his powers to save him, and he ends up killing her. And then, our little werewolf, aka music teacher, shows up and is like, "Oh no, I'm your new master. I'm gonna take you to. I got a pact because my father was a Hyde, so I'm like a Hyde werewolf hybrid maybe, and so now you're gonna come join my pack. So you don't even need a master." And she'd been manipulating things, not part of, like, I guess the main villain track of this series, but setting up for maybe a season 3 villain track. Do you think that whole thing she told Enid about becoming an alpha and being stuck in your wolf form was legitimate, or just something she was saying to, like, manipulate and fuck with Enid to potentially recruit her to the pack at some point?
I felt like it was a total manipulation. Now, maybe I'm wrong about that, but on the surface, that felt like complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the self-centered ego-ness of it all and
And she grew up in a werewolf family. She's got werewolf parents, and no one has, she's never heard this legend of being an alpha, and, other than, if you're an alpha, you're like a lone wolf, but if you wolf out on a full moon, you're gonna fucking get stuck.
That's
you're
not
gonna if you make that face, you're gonna get stuck like that.
An alpha doesn't exist without a pack. And
yeah, I'm starting to think that all this was like a manipulation. Once you get the reveal of her being secret villain, it sounds like this is all like a manipulation thing to isolate her, so then she can maybe convince her to join her wolf pack, or to isolate her so she can't help Wednesday for some secret agenda that she's got going on later on.
Yeah, because there's always, I don't know, and maybe I'm trying to apply my logic of dogs and their interactions to a Netflix series, but there's always that
dog psychology 101.
That dynamic and that power struggle and everything. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm proven wrong, but I think it was all complete and total bullshit.
And we get kind of, at the end, Wednesday's like, oh, we're going to love to have you home. He's like, I'm not coming home, Mother. I have a quest. Me and Uncle Fester are going to ride off into the sunset and find Enid. I heard she's going to Canada. And I don't know why I went to the trailer guy voice. So do you think that's going to be season 3, or is that kind of quest going to be the part of this Fester series that we're getting?
I don't know.
Because for the most part, the show takes place at the school. I can kind of
see it going both ways, I would almost like to,
this
for
could be
all intent and purposes of Fester's quest, it being rooted in its own thing, and then, Wednesday kind of, okay, we're going to wrap this up and pass the torch to the other series. But, there was so many side quests and other things going on this season. That,
did we wrap up the missing Enid storyline during, like, a summer vacation with the Fester series, and then season 3, we're back at Nethermore doing Nethermore shit? Or does it, Fester get his own completely unrelated adventure on the side? Like, I gave Wednesday a ride to Canada, and I'm going to go fuck off and do whatever. and then we don't get the whole Enid wrap up until season 3 of Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely have to keep on top of announcements, and which I kind of hope they keep everything secret. Where there's not a lot of leaks.
They've done
a
good job of not giving away too much. I mean, we've gotten casting news here and there, but like I said, we thought freaking Lady Gaga was going to be the principal this season, when it turned out to be her just like a fucking ghost cameo. And I don't even think like there was any kind of news about Steve Buscemi until like the show came out, and I'm like, oh, Buscemi's the new principal. And they can't keep a principal at this fucking school. I'm like, Jesus, like, who's going to be it's like every season we get a new principal. Maybe, fucking Morticia's already there doing, assisting with things. Like, does Gomez just take over? He becomes the new principal.
I mean, I could almost see that. I mean, if Morticia can become, a PTA member, Gomez could be like, you know what?
I'm bored.
I'm bored.
I'm going to be this.
Yes.
I had fun like interacting and helping the kids this season. I'm going to be the principal now.
But also too, like, he's got the strength and everything, I think, to counterbalance and to be like,
he's an excellent negotiator. Those times when he kind of like plays lawyer in like last season, it's like, yeah, he's like, Gomez is way smarter than everyone kind of gives him credit for. It's like, it was kind of like, oh, he's just like the guy with no powers, and then he like just fucking completely.
No, he's a ninja, dude.
Yeah. I don't need powers. I've got a sword and a sweet mustache. A sword and a sweet mustache will get you far in life.
I mean, it worked. It worked in Princess Bride.
Inconceivable. Oh. So did you have a favorite part of the season, or kind of new?
I don't know. The whole body swap thing was really cool to see, and like you said, that shout out to both of our cast members there for being able to pull that off and everything else, and like secretly it'd be like, oh no, like I was still doing this, she was still doing that, like it was just all Hollywood magic.
And the actress who played Aang's, as far as like new characters go, she was I mean she creepy stalker girl. She kind of reminded me like of a living like creepy doll. And and then her kind of story arc of going from the sycophant fangirl to being her own person by the end of it and being like a legitimate part of the team that was cool to see. She wasn't just a like sidekick. They developed her through the like
yes.
Even when she like
Well, I think this season overall did a great job of that, of
even like the Gorgon Ajax. Ajax had a lot more to do this season and was like, Bianca was, she wasn't there for a lot of like the main quest, but we got a whole lot of detail about her backstory and her life and got to see her, kind of, cause she was kind of like the mean girl in season 1, where in this one, she's like, I mean, toward the end of last season and much more in this season, where she's like, oh no, she's actually like a decent person. She's not just like the mean girl who's going to be a bitch to Wednesday. She's actually pretty cool and and legitimately helps out.
But I don't know. This season just, I would have never predicted from season 2 how many side quests and how much complexity we got. And,
there was a lot going on in 8
and that's
episodes.
why it kind of made it a little bit difficult for me to talk about. I was like, there's not just one avenue to focus on.
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of shows where we have multiple storylines, it gets a little excessive, and not all storyline, like some of the storylines seem a little weak or neglected, where this one is like every side quest, like
it had a purpose.
Yes, it kind of all blended in and all kind of weaved together. But like, there was nothing that I thought was kind of a wasted story. Even Pugsley's zombie friend Like, I thought that could have been just a throwaway thing, but then no, that became like the big bad of the season, and like was very like integral to the plot. You know, so it's like, so even the things you thought were just like throwaway side quests, like, oh no, this fucking turns hard into the main quest.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely curious to see what next season has in store.
I mean, it's fucking Burton. Like, how, like, we should have expected it to be good. Dude's been doing this shit for a long fucking time.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, well, what do you think of this here Outcast cigar? As we're,
Dude, I gotta say, mad props. Like, you know, shout out to the cigar shop as always for introducing us to things that, you know, if I saw an Outcast cigar sitting on a shelf, I probably wouldn't have just like, oh yeah, let me pick this up. But, you know, I'm definitely going to stick to, you know, mild to medium on this guy. Highly flavorful, sweet, earthy, quite woody at times. Just overall great complexity. And at, you know, basically a $12 price tag, I'm more than pleased.
yeah, I mean, it. Like I said, that initial like smell before we lit it, I was like, oh, is this a flavored cigar? But no, I don't mind a sweetness in a cigar when it's not like sickly sweet, like overpowering, like a flavored cigar. Where this one, it's like I said, initially kind of had a s'moresy scent to it, and it's got like a little bit of chocolate, but then also a little bit of spice, but and creaminess, but never getting like overpowering strong. Yeah, like I said, it's definitely in that mild to medium, but ton of flavor. So yeah, I'm down for mild, if as long as there's plenty of flavor attached to it, and it's not just like smoke and air.
Yeah, for sure. And this definitely is not that. This is, you know, and in fact, I'm usually not a big fan of Brazilian, you know, wrapped cigar, but this has made me a fan. So shout out to Outcast.
Oh, and I don't even see his name listed here in the cast list, but we forgot to mention, we were talking about big cameos this season. The cult leader that turned out, you know, not to be the cult leader because it was, you know, Barry Dort running the thing. It was homeboy from Starship Troopers.
Oh shit! It was
Casper Van
yeah.
Dien was the the guy that we had, the supposed whatchamacallit, cult leader. But no, it's all it was just good old Casper Van Dien, who gets fried and barbecued and thrown into the that was an epic fireplace though in the principal's office.
I guess you know, I don't know, that to me was more like a Dean fireplace than a principal, but
yeah,
hey, whatever.
Oh, but with that's all we got for you this week, and we'll be right back with some blowing smoke. And you've been watching the Cigar Nerds podcast. Check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com and on the ESO Network, esonetwork.com. And don't forget, smoke them if you got them. Like, comment, and subscribe.